What's up, my risers? How are you doing? I'm Phoenix, and I'm here to do what we call a Journey to Healing reading. I'm going to get straight to the point. So, we have someone here that is a fixer. Um, they have this savior role. It's about you needing the time to be patient with yourself. I apologize for all that shininess, but it's a time right now. The time you're being called to be patient with yourself. Stop rushing everything. Stop um, taking on this fixer role, this savior role, thinking you're supposed to fix everything and everyone's stuff. Because while you're out here trying to rush to fix things, you're also avoiding your own stuff. You're avoiding your own pain. And going out here trying to avoid your own pain is keeping you in this place of being inflexible to change, if that makes sense. Yes, you are stopping your growth. You are stopping your growth, but they're asking you to have patience with yourself. Take the time that's needed. Take the time that you are needing, because taking on the savior role is creating this issue where you're starting to avoid your own pain, and it is creating a type of it has been creating a type of codependency, if that makes sense. When it's time for you to start recognizing that you're worthy just being you, you're centering, you're honing in your heart center. You are working to make these changes that you were once being inflexible to, because that fixer role, that codependency, was keeping you from growing and everything. And now it's like things are stopping, and you're learning to find that balance in yourself. You're meditating more. You're learning to find that balance. You're learning how to take care of yourself. Hold on just a moment. My apologies, I had to fix the lighting. So yeah, you're learning to find that balance now. You're learning to take better care of yourself. You've actually started replenishing yourself, mind, body, and soul. You're taking this time that you need to take care of you. You're starting to find your own identity. You're starting to learn your worth just by being who you are. You're learning that you are enough, that you have value. You add value to everything that you do. So let's get into it and let's see what's going on. Yes, you were once a fixer, and this was keeping you, that codependency was keeping you from changing, where you kind of, you were not in healer. It was like you're a natural healer, but you just were not in that expertise of quite healing just yet. You were actually just avoiding your own pain. And so you were trying to become a fixer. Yes, now you're learning to find that balance in everyday life. You're learning to, anytime the balances feel kind of off, you're learning to bring that tilt it back in everyday life. You're learning to adapt. You're learning to be flexible now, where you once were inflexible to change, if you can see that. Yet once where you used to be, and I heard stunting your growth, you're now learning to find that flexibility. You're learning to prioritize self-care, that time that you need for self. Just basically reconnecting with yourself and making yourself a priority, learning what it is that's serving you. You're learning to just be. You're actually learning to be in this energy, and you're actually learning to surrender. You're being asked to surrender. Surrendering the need to always immediately answer to that savior role, because actually that was causing more damage than it was doing good. Actually, you're learning to surrender now. You're surrendering to yourself. You're surrendering to your heart center and learning that you're being worthy. You cannot No, I heard that song. No one's there to save you. You got to save yourself. Mm-hmm. You're now putting a lot of good energy into fulfilling your own cups. Finding that emotional happiness, that fulfillment that you need in self, where there was once sorrow, once where you had grief from trying to fix other people. And this was usually in partnerships. You were getting a lot of, you were neglecting yourself, and you were trying to, you were, what's the best way to put it? Jumping ships. That's how I heard it. Jumping ships. So basically, you see your ship in a partnership. You see your ship sinking, but you look at your partner and you see their ship is sinking, and it may even be a little faster. So you jump off of your ship to go help them with their ship. And so when they sail off, you end up basically left in the wind. And this is where you're dealing with the grief and the mourning. But just know all is not lost. That's what they're saying. There will be some type of offer coming soon. But first, you must learn how to have... Every day, you have to make decisions that require you to be in this energy of knowing your identity and who you are. So there is a invitation coming for partnership eventually. However, it's about filling your own cup first. Because when you, like I said, you have to learn how to, it's about an equal exchange, because I keep seeing the infinity sign. So this is about having partnership that gives a sense of and balance of equal exchange. A balance in partnership. So this is where you have to take this time for yourself and have patience for yourself in the timing, because at some point you weren't willing to change because you were so busy trying to fix someone, but it was due to a trauma bond of codependency. You were trying to play this savior role. You were trying to make someone love you and see you for who you were, but it was time for you to see you for who you were. So it was like you were trying to convince someone to see you for who you were, but you weren't seeing you for who you were at this time. That's what was going on. But now it looks like you have actually surrendered. You've grown. Let's see, what do you people want to know? What do you want to know now? I am attuned to the universe beyond current reality, allowing me to receive divine insight from the eternal now, claircognizance. So now you're starting to sense things for what they really are. Once you started creating, taking care of self, and you started creating this sense of balance, and you start meditating. As a matter of fact, you have stepped into your identity. You are creating a sense of balance. And so it's like you're learning so much about yourself that people cannot just come in and you can't save everybody, basically. Yeah. You're basically siphoning through the bull crap. Energetic purging. Yes. Releasing all that stagnant energy of the grief that was caused, that no longer serves you. Finding that moment to get yourself in this place of harmony and emotional fulfillment. Creating stability in your own life. That way no one can just come in and just knock over your foundation, or you won't feel the need to neglect yourself to help someone. It's like you know your boundaries, you know your limits. Sacred waters at the right place at the right time. We have prosperity, and we have family line. All right. So this was someone who knew, who did some energetic purging. You went to the waters, or you used water. You did some type of ritual, a cleansing ritual. And it put you at the right place at the right time. But it was also bringing prosperity. The cleansing you did, it's bringing prosperity to your family bloodline. So instead of you, what you ended up doing is you wisened up. You started purging, cleansing, and it was a place that you went to. You went to the right place at the right time, and this is creating prosperity in your bloodline. Prosperity is not always about finances. Prosperity is also about learning what generational curses plague your family. You're finally learning. You've been sitting with yourself. You found the sense of balance, and you're able to identify a lot of things, and it's breaking your family line free. Because one thing about it is when you start to really get what is plaguing the family and you begin to call it out by its name, it weakens its strength. So instead of all of the inherited patterns and limitations and the suffering that you used to do that was creating grief, you're now embodying the highest expression of your lineage's potential. You're opening doors. Clarify a little bit more, please. Yes, you're following your intuition. You're listening. You're listening beyond the veil. That's the way I heard it. And you're actually applying and learning. You're implicating, you're applying, and you're learning a lot. You're taking the time to learn about yourself, your family line, what's been going on, what needs to be cleared out. You've been trusting your gut. You've been mastering your sixth sense. You've actually been mastering and learning how to use your sixth sense to get you to the places that you need to be, to break free of all the things that bring about grief and everything. And you've been sharing. You have not been gatekeeping any of this. You've been sharing. You've been letting your bloodline know, those that are here. You are letting them know. You're trying to unlock everybody. You're letting everyone know. You're sharing this information. You're sharing your feelings. You're sharing how you feel. Yep. And it's also about how you choose to share when it comes to relationships and partnerships. And the sharing should actually be balanced. So it should be like it's not like, I'm not saying 50-50. It's more like balance. So where your weaknesses are, this person's strength should be. And where their weaknesses are, your strength should be. So it's creating that flow of equal give and take. And we're not talking materialistic, people. So what was the lesson from all of this? Because you had to learn to follow your heart. You had to learn to follow your heart. Listen to your intuition. Attune to the timelines that you were meant to attune to, so that you can receive the insight that you needed to help you break free. And also to have faith in this path. It was not just about following your heart, but it was also about having faith, learning to be patient, waiting for the right times, so that you can realign with your purpose and realign with the peoples and the partnerships and friendships and everything with purpose. not just having something there just to have it there. So this is where you had to learn how to just be worthy of just being. Finding your identity, recognizing that you have value. And your ancestors have seen this. They see the value in you. But at some point in time, because you were so busy being a fixer, you were not seeing the value in you. And they're wanting you to move at a pace of peace. In every I heard in every decision that you make, any decisions that you choose to make, they're wanting you to move in a pace of peace. Because every time you move in a pace of peace, you're going to win. You're going to triumph over everything. You're going to triumph. Everything that looks like, it can look like failure, but it's not failure. But everything you're going to triumph over. But they just needed you to learn how to stop trying to avoid your own things and take care of self. Stop trying to make someone see you and start seeing you for who you are. And that's the first thing you had to learn. But you're going into this place where a lot of energy is going into self-harmony, self-balance. I apologize. Yes. Self-care, self-balance, where you're actually starting to find that emotional fulfillment, that stability, that contentment in self by listening to yourself, inviting yourself in, and recognizing that you are enough, and giving yourself the chance to open up your heart center. Because I heard you have so much love to give. You really have so much love to give, but the problem is you weren't giving it to yourself. So once you learn to stop trying to fix everything, because it was really more of you avoiding your own pain, and you actually started recognizing that you are worthy of just being, everything does not have to move at a fast pace. Because I keep seeing this, but I also see the head going. So everything is not meant to be moving at a fast pace all the time. Patience, timing is needed, because this is that time for you to take care of self and find that balance in you. There's something your bloodline is needing you to do. They're leading you to that place. They led you to that place. The right place at the right time. Look at that beautiful peacock. Purging at the waters and receiving what is meant for you, bringing in the prosperity, the peace, the balance, as well as the spiritual alignment that is needed in your bloodline. This is what your ancestors, your family tree. Not only are you creating, breaking the past ancestral stuff, but you're also creating it for the future. So this is something, you're like that middle person, and I'm seeing both sides of the timelines. So it's like the chain is breaking. So you're not only handling the past stuff and clearing that out, you're handling the future stuff and you're clearing that out as well. So let's see if there's any advice before we leave on this. Beautiful, beautiful readings. But this is a collective reading. What's the message? Last message of the day. This is somebody who is probably wondering why things are not moving the way they're moving, because right now you weren't ready. You weren't ready. You were not ready. And this was the time that you needed to see what truly matters. There was a lot of things that you had to learn about yourself. And I heard it was kind of a nuisance, I guess. That's what I heard. Kind of a nuisance. But yeah, at the time, you were not ready because you were so busy trying to play the savior role. But now it's time for you to find that balance and taking care of yourself. That is what they're wanting you to do. Take care of self. Anything else? That is all. That is the message. Take care of yourself. Take care of your needs. Stop avoiding your own pains. This flipped out as I was leaving to help you see your worth. Because you're worthy just by being. When you sit there and you go in, you're worthy just by doing that. Everything is not meant to go at such a fast pace. Take your time. It's going to be okay. The more you take your time, the better things are going to work for you. You're going to be in a winning situation, and it just feels like lessons after lessons after lessons. That's the way I'm hearing it. But it's going to be okay. So keep moving forward. See your worth. Take your time. Take care of self, because you're no good to no one else if you don't take care of yourself. Stay up.